Good evening and hello, everyone. We are about a few minutes late, so there were some technical difficulties, but you gotta love being online and web stuff. But anyways, we are here with you right now. And my name is Yolonda Steward, and I am your host for tonight on Adult Learner Speaks. I am so excited. We have a very special guest, Julie Slate. And the topic for tonight is prioritizing you while you help your family, doing it all. And so without further ado, we are going to have Julie Slate come in and don't be shy. We want questions from you, audience. And here she is.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Yolanda. Thank you so much for having me.
Hi, Julie. I'm so happy that you decided to join. Can you introduce yourself to everyone?
Yes, so I am Julie Slate, and I started my doctorate program this past May. We'll dig a little bit further into that. But what I really want to be able to talk with you all about is taking that next step. So whatever that next step is that you're looking to do, whether it's getting an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, a doctorate, a certificate, whatever you've been looking to possibly do, looking to make that step so that you can help your family, because ultimately you doing that for yourself helps your family. It helps them financially. It helps them to deal with you because you'll be a happier person. So that's one big piece of what I want to talk to you about tonight.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And so we want to make sure that our viewers are, please share and, tell someone about, Adult Learner Speaks. If you know someone who is interested in going to school and they are on the fence, you definitely want to have them tune in tonight. If they don't have Facebook, they can tune in live on YouTube at Yolanda Stewart Global Consultancy, LLC. And so we're going to just have a conversation. And through our conversation, we want someone this evening to be encouraged. And if you have someone that you really want to hear and they aren't available right now, they can certainly listen in at a later time, because this will be recorded and it will remain on the Yolanda Stewart Facebook page as well as the YouTube page. So, Julie, tell us what school you currently going to and what is your major?
So I'm at the American College of Education. It is a fully online program. The doctorate is a doctorate of education. It is focused in leadership, educational leadership, and also a focus in higher education. So I work within higher education. I've been in higher ed since 2005. So this has been a great doctorate program for me. They are actually out of Indiana. So whenever I do get to graduate, I'll actually have a place I'm going to that's not that far away to graduate from. And I heard about it from a colleague. Ultimately, they are pretty affordable, and I'm able to do one class at a time. And my employer actually helps with a good amount of that tuition too.
That is absolutely awesome. And so when exactly did you start?
I started in May. So Yolanda and I, we had worked together before, and we had talked about doing a doctorate program for a long time. And she's been actually a really great inspiration for me to finally do it. I was really thinking I wanted to, but was on the fence. And then come COVID, I was looking for something. I was looking for something for myself, something to advance myself. I took a class on happiness through Yale University for free while we were home, because you know how there were so many free courses that were available. And for me, taking that class, it really inspired me to be like, I can do this. And actually the best part, like when we're talking about our family, the best part was my husband seeing how happy it made me. It was a class on happiness, so it really was great. And my mother-in-law was taking it as well. So we were talking about it, getting really excited. And then he really got on board as far as the doctorate program, because he could see that it was really making me happy. It was helping me advance my thinking and really get out of that mindset that we were in the beginning of the pandemic of like, what is this? What are we going to do with ourselves type of thing.
Thank you so much, Julie, for bringing up your family and how your husband, saw how happy you were. Julie's absolutely right. Julie and I had conversations about furthering our education, and one of the things we talked about was family. And I have two little people, and Julie, you have Owen, right? Mm-hmm. And so, as moms, there's that work-life family balance, right? And so when we make these decisions, we can't make them by ourselves. And so tell us a little bit about that, just the whole decision making and family and what was that like?
Right. And I know you and I have talked about this a lot, because that's really what was making me think, I don't know if I can do this, because I needed them to be on board. And honestly, it was once I started doing it is when they got on board, when they could see what I was actually doing. They could be able to participate in it. I'd ask them questions. So my husband at first, he was really, really reluctant. But then once I would get into my assignments, he's such a great writer. He would start to give me some great ideas, because I have really more of a business mindset, and he'd start to give me some more ideas because he's got such a good vocabulary. So he would get involved in it. Owen would be doing his schoolwork. I'd be doing my schoolwork. Owen is 9 years old. He'll be 10 in May. And he is a fully virtual learner right now. So we are doing our 100% online programs together. It's been really great. I'm only taking a little bit at a time, and that's one thing that really helped with my family. I'm taking one class at a time. I was taking 2 classes at one point. It was just a registration challenge. It was so challenging. But you know what? Now when I'm only taking one class at a time, it's actually almost seems easy to me, because I know how hard taking 2 classes at a time was, that taking this one class at a time. And my family really felt that too when I was taking those 2 classes at a time. So they're all like, oh, you're all good. You got this. So that challenging yourself, it involves them too, of course. All of your time is together. You got to find that balance where they can be in some way involved. It's not taking too much of your time, but you're still progressing forward. So that's what's helped out for me.
Awesome. And you get to still have fun, or is there no room for fun, other extracurricular stuff? How does that work?
Great question. So this was actually the perfect time for me to do this, because what was I doing really? What was I doing for fun with this?
Okay.
Besides, I wasn't going anywhere, so it was really a great time for me to start the program, because this is what I do. I have my class, and it is fun for me. The classes on leadership, on management, they're very interesting. I have a hard time with research methods and that kind of thing, but I'm learning a lot. So that part is fun for me, but I still do have time, of course, for my family. Early in the pandemic, we'd still have lots of game nights. We've been doing movie nights. We got the reclining seats in our living room, because I had actually torn a hole in our couch early pandemic from being on our couch. That's why I needed to start this program. But we have reclining movie theater seats, and we've been going through different series of movies, and we just finished Star Wars. So we've been having lots of family time through this time. So there's a lot. It's really Thursdays, a little bit on Saturday, and on Sundays that I'm doing schoolwork. The rest of my week, I've got time, Okay. So you just want to prioritize that pocket of time that you're looking to do when you've got your assignments due, and just make sure that you prioritize it, and then you can get it done.
I'm happy you shared that, because one of the questions I had, and I know a lot of people have who's thinking about going for their doctorate or any degree, how many hours a week do you spend doing schoolwork? So you already mentioned you get to still have family fun, and you get to devote some time towards family. And so it sounds like you mentioned 3 days, about 3 days a week that you're
Yeah.
able to get your one class.
Yeah, about 3 days a week. So like Thursday nights, I'll probably be doing it like a couple hours, 2 to 3 hours on Thursday nights. And I'd say around 3 to 4 hours on Sunday. It's only a little bit of time on Saturday. I have discussion posts that I have to reply to. So just a little bit of time on Saturdays. So it's really not that hard. Now, when I was first doing it, when I had the 2 classes, I was staying up till like 3 a.m. doing those classes. But I'm not now. That's not the case now. So it's just like making sure that I could find that balance. And I had to tell my school, like, I really just have to do one at a time because I know what that affects me, but I'm still progressing. And I do have up to 10 years to finish this degree. I will get it done in less than 10 years. If I went full time, it would be 3 years.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm going to take it a bit at a time. I'm not really taking big breaks, big chunks of time, but just doing one class at a time, just like slowly progressing through it.
So how many weeks is your class?
So most of them are 10-week classes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's some 5 weeks. So like my first class was a 5-week. It was like an introduction type of course. But most of them are 10 weeks long. And the 5 weeks go really quick. It's almost like when you're taking like an intersession or summer session class, like things progress so quickly. I almost like the 10 weeks better because you have a little bit more leeway, you're building a little slower through the course.
So Julie, you just make going for your doctorate sound just so great, almost glamorous. So now there has to be some type of challenges. Are there any challenges? I know you said in the beginning the 2 classes was challenging. So now it's the 1 class. Is there anything challenging for you right now at all?
Thank you for that question. And I really appreciate you having the Facebook group that you have, our Rising Eagles Facebook group, because I did put up one of my challenges there. So I hadn't been back to school since last time I was in classes was 2008. And I was never in an online program. I had taken one online class one time in my undergrad, which it would have been in like 2003. So now I'm in an online program, and I shared on the Facebook group, I had an assignment that was the exact same as an assignment from a previous class. So I utilized that assignment from the previous class, changed it up a little bit. It was the complete same assignment. Like they were really asking the exact same thing, but I did change it up a little bit, and I got in trouble for that because I was not supposed to be using previous material, even though I was self-plagiarizing myself. Okay. And I felt so guilty over this. Like I felt like I just like did something so bad. And I did. It really was. I had no idea it was against the rules of the institution to do that. And just a note for everyone out there, you're not supposed to do that.
Right. Yeah.
So now when I'm doing assignments like that I'm like, okay, I've done this already. And that past class I had, it was things I had done already. I don't even look at previous assignments. I start anew. Yeah. I start fresh every single time. And you know what? Like some of those things probably are still kind of coming out, but I might be wording it a little bit differently. I might be coming up with a few more ideas through my coursework, through my experience, that type of thing. So that was a really big challenge for me. That happened one time. And then one other time I had like a technical issue, and technical issues, like if your computer dies on you, that's not okay. Like you still can't miss an assignment. However, I've worked so hard with all my other assignments, I was still able to get A's in those classes.
Awesome.
So I do have a 4.0 GPA, which I had never had before. I was a good student, but not a 4.0 GPA. Student.
Oh, all right.
Yes. So even though I had those challenges, like because I had done so well, I had really balanced things out so well in my other assignments that I was still okay. So like I had said, I did get a 0 on that one assignment. But because I had done so well in everything else, I still was at that A level, but it just made a lot more pressure.
Right. And, I really appreciate your transparency, right? Because like you said, it's been since 2008 since you've been in school. And so, and for me, I met with my professor today and I'm like, it's been 18 years for me since I've been in school. So there's so many things that we don't know, or we may not remember, or we just not really sure about. And so, by you sharing this, someone, is listening and now you know.
And now I know.
Right?
Yeah.
Now and our audience knows, right? There's something called self-plagiarizing. And so we cannot do that. And so, but like you said, you still was able to get an A in the class, although you did not do well in that assignment. You didn't stop, right? You kept moving, and you said, you know what? I'm still going to go for my A, and you're a 4.0 student, and that is just absolutely remarkable. I love it. So
I actually learn more from my mistakes than I do from my successes because I have it in my mind, so I'm like, oh no. So, I learned so much from that like those couple situations where I'm like, oh, okay. So now I know what not to do.
Right, exactly. So Julie, have you always been like a studious person? Like, did you know, like when you were in high school, that one day you would go for your doctorate degree, you go all the way through to the top?
I never thought my doctorate degree. No. I was a studious student. My parents are both in education. They were elementary education teachers in my district too. So all of my teachers knew my parents. So I kind of had to do well, Okay. I have a sister who's 4 years older than me, and I did really well in high school, but she did amazing in college. So she had I was talking about the 4.0, she had like a 4.13 kind of thing. So that was really as I was going through high school, she was doing so well in college. So that really helped to kind of build me up into what I wanted to do. And so my sister then from there, she got a master's degree in school counseling, and then she went for her PhD. So she had actually, she was a school counselor, left her job and went for her PhD. So she has been a really big inspiration for me as far as the whole wanting to get a doctorate. I didn't really want to leave a job. I actually can't leave a job. I do need that money for my family. So I found something that was going to work for me. And the same case with my master's, I did a hybrid program where it was one night a week. I didn't have a son then, but I was married, and it was a 1 night a week program. And then 4 hours with your study group that I found. So I've always been able to find ways to kind of balance it within my life. And it kind of has just progressed. I was at Bryant and Stratton College. I work at Monroe Community College in Rochester, New York. I was at Bryant and Stratton College for my master's, and they paid up to 80% of tuition. And I was figuring out, what I wanted to do, and they paid for that. And then MCC came along and they required a master's degree. And now at MCC, when you're in higher education, they talk about doctorates a lot. They really do. And it was never something I was thinking about before my sister started her PhD program. And then I was hearing about doctorates, like educational doctorates. I was like, oh, okay. And then I kind of got intrigued, but I was like, how do you actually make it work? And honestly, I do think it has been being at home, seeing how to balance my life while I'm at home and incorporating this in a way that it actually helps me. It mentally actually helps me to feel accomplished, because that's something we really need. We need to be able to feel accomplished. Yeah. So I have been a good student, sometimes a great student. I was a marketing major. Accounting, finance are not my thing, but marketing, management, business administration courses, loved it. So, I kind of balance things out. The same things with my classes now. I love most of my classes. There's a few of them that I'm like, oh, this is sticky. But that actually, I learn more from those because it's not something that comes easy for me. And it's good to be challenged.
Have you thought about that dissertation topic, what that's going to be at all?
Yes, thank you. So all throughout the program, they're having me kind of put pieces of my dissertation together. And so what I'm looking to do is higher education leadership during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's been really, I think we're going to have more and more that comes from this
Right.
that I'm going to be able to incorporate into. So this dissertation will take me some time, and we don't even know the effects right now that COVID is going to have on higher education and higher education leadership. But I'm really excited about it. There's lots of different president panels. I'll be able to interview different college presidents. And it's been really interesting for me.
We'll have a lot of people reading your study some years from now. Absolutely. Wow. Awesome. Awesome. So tell us, so you had mom and dad, right, who obviously encouraged you, and you had your sister. Have you had any other mentors along the way who has encouraged you in any way?
Ooh, great question. So within my role, so I'm an assistant director of admissions. I've had people that have kind of been mentors for me as like, this is where I'm looking to go, and they help to grow me. I have been a part of our American Association for Women in Community Colleges, where I've been able to have mentors through that. The lead of American Association for Women in Community Colleges needs to be a president of a college. And I luckily was involved with that for a few years. So there was presidents of colleges that I got to sit side by side with and have all of these different conversations about where community colleges are going and everything like that. So they've been really great mentors. And they're all, once you're at that president level, they're doctors,
Right.
So,
yes.
So it was really great to kind of make it not seem like it's that big of a deal. Like this, I could talk to them about like their personal lives, their families, what's it like being a president? What are your challenges? What are your successes? That type of thing. While they were still a regular person. So that's been a really great experience too.
That's awesome. And so you are an assistant director, I'm sorry, right now, right? Yeah. And so where do you want to go on this higher ed journey? Like career-wise?
For as far as my career path type of thing. Yeah. So I would like to be like a vice president of a college, ultimately, is what I would like to do. So yes, I'm currently an assistant director of admissions, looking to possibly look to get to the next level as associate director of admissions to see if I can get to that next level, then director. Now, different colleges have vice presidents of enrollment management, which would kind of fall in line with I have so much admissions background. A lot of times, like at MCC, it's vice president of student services, which it could be so many different things. And really, it's been enrollment management for me. So it might be going to a school that has a vice president of enrollment management, but this could be a long time from now, but you never know.
You never know. You never know.
Possibilities and options.
Right. You never know.
Yeah. But I'm really happy. I mean, what's amazing with the role I have tenure. I have promotion, like I can move up in rank at like a professor. I'm at associate professor rank, and I can get to full professor too. So they have so many benefits for us in the role that I'm in that it's really kept me learning and growing and trying to succeed with MCC. And I just really do love it there. I miss the campus so much. So I don't want to leave MCC, but ultimately with what my goals are, it could be at MCC. I probably would need a little bit more experience within other offices to get that next level type of thing. But maybe that's something that I can work with my dissertation,
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. So I see that we already have some audience questions. Ooh. And you guys, start writing in some more questions. Do you see the questions, Julie?
I do. Yeah.
All right. So before we start with the questions, do you have your water?
I do. Yes.
All right. Awesome. So we could take a little water break, guys. All right. Do you have a goal of when you'd like to be done with your doctorate? That question comes from Heather Nicole. Thank you, Miss Heather, for your question.
Hi, Heather. Thank you. Of when I'd like to be done with my doctorate. So I started 2020. I would like to get it done in 5 years. So that'd be 2025. It may be a little bit further than that, possibly 2026, but that's what I'd like. So, I mean, that is just 4 years from now. Now, that might seem like a really long time, but it's just one class at a time. I'm kind of easing my way there. And within this, I can see about opportunities for myself as like I can grow within my career as I grow within my doctorate too. So that ultimately I can be at a level while I'm getting this doctorate that I'm at that level that like once I have that doctorate, that possible like a vice president type of position could be something that I'm really eligible for based on what experience I have with my work experience too. Because you got to have that work experience and that education, whatever that education is. So like I'm talking doctorate, but really like whatever you're looking for. If it's a skilled trade, there's certificate options. So like within having that education and having that experience, that's what really gets you the job. Now, my goal is just I want to be a vice president of a college. And so this is what I do to be able to be a vice president of a college. But it's really looking at what do I want to do, combining your education or training with your experience to get to that level.
Right. And when opportunity comes, you will be prepared, right? When that door opens, Mrs. Doctorate Julie Slate will be able to walk through that door.
Right.
And that is just,
Yolanda.
Right. That's right. Just absolutely amazing and remarkable. And here's the reality. Somebody told me this recently. It doesn't even matter, how long it takes, if it's 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, because the reality is that if it's 3, 4, 5 years, 10 years from now, you'll be Dr. Slate. But we definitely appreciate that question because, it is, we still have to have goals, right? Mm-hmm. So we still have to, give ourselves, okay, this is when we want to do it by this date and work towards those goals. So that is amazing. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Do we have any more questions? We have comments. It's Marla Dinkle. Hi, Marla. She says, thanks for sharing, Julie.
Aww.
And let's see who else. Dale Pierce. Great work, Julie.
Dale was the American College of Education. Dale's actually who told me about the program.
Awesome.
Yes. Awesome. And he did that. You can do a certificate program before that. And he did it first. And now he's in the doctorate program too.
That is awesome. So do you guys ever get to take classes together?
We haven't taken classes together, but when I first started, he was helping me so much with my first class of like how to balance my time, of how he made it work because he has a family. He has a young family too. So that's a big thing. I mean, my son isn't a baby, but he's got babies, but he makes it work. Working full time. He's been getting promoted up through the ranks at MCC. He's also a swim coach. So, and then he's got the program as well. So he's really got lots of balancing that he has to do. And that was one thing that made me think, oh, maybe I can make this work. Like Dale is somehow making this work. I can try this, And
that's so important. It's just so good to be able to have other people to talk to, right? Like minds think alike. And that is another reason why I started the Adult Learner Speaks Facebook group. So if you don't know about it or not aware, it's a Facebook group for adult learners, and it's anybody who's in school, and you can be doing a certificate program, as you just mentioned, Julie, or going for your associate's degree, or your bachelor's, or your master's, or your doctorate, or law school, whatever that may be. And so, what we like to do in a group is just encourage each other, support each other, have these conversations because everybody's story is so different, And I think, as Julie mentioned earlier, it's just really helpful, right? When you having those challenges and there's somebody else that you can relate to or you can share with, it really does make a difference while you're on the journey. Because, I know for me, sometimes I want to pull my hair out.
Right.
But overall, I'm very happy that I started on this journey, and I can tell, and we all can tell, Julie, that you are very happy as well.
Yeah.
And so Peter Jones says, why not the president of the college? You said vice president. Peter Jones wants to know, why not the president?
Yes. So that's my mom. She signed off on that. So that's where mom and dad have the combined account.
Okay. Hi,
okay,
Mommy,
Mom,
Dad.
president of the college. That's what I'll do.
That's right. Mommy and Daddy, they want their baby to go all the way.
Oh, yeah. All right.
I hear that.
Just like seeing the experiences of presidents in college, I definitely want to get to the vice president level. It would be great to get the president level, but there is, like we've been talking, that work-life balance. Like, what would my work-life balance be like at that level? Of course you can do it. Of course you can make it happen. But a lot of times I see people moving all different places, moving their family. Now, at the point that I get to, my son would be older. So if my husband's willing to get up and move and we're going to this college and we're going to do this thing, he says, yes, like, do it. Let's do it, But that would be, I think, my main goal is to get to that vice president level. And then maybe when I'm close to retirement, then I'm at that point, and you also see presidents coming back, like at MCC, we've got our interim president who was retired as a president and then coming back. So there's opportunities that you could do like that as well. I just want to make sure that it's not causing too much friction on like my own mental health, because that's so important. Like, you need to be able to make sure that you have that balance as far as your social and emotional and health. So if I can make it work, if I can get to that point, then, but I got to get to at least vice president to start.
All right, Mom and Dad, you heard us. She said yes. She can get to that point. But I think it is important that you acknowledge that work-life balance, and it is a huge role. And yeah, like you said, I don't want to be older, but you still, like you said, your husband is important, and he have to help you make that decision, and I understand that myself as well. And so, wow, awesome. But it's okay to dream and prepare, right? Because after, like you said, after vice president, the next step is presidency. And somebody said, yes, that's my concern. Yes, self-care and mental health are important. That is absolutely right. And so, audience, come on, some more questions. Let's see. We see some comments. Any more questions for Julie? Type them in. Or any comments. So tell us if there's someone that's like right now, after hearing you, like, wow, maybe I should make that step. What would you advise them as like the first thing to do?
So I guess really, like, what's your end goal? What are you looking to accomplish? And then it's just taking those steps to that point. So whether it's going on for education, going on for a certificate, going on for training, looking to see, like, if you're currently employed, will your employer be able to pay for it? Because paying for it is the big piece of this, right? Like, we want to make sure that we are not putting ourselves in a bad position financially while we're working through this. If you're currently unemployed, if there are funds that are available, I can see that coming out of this pandemic, there'll probably be more funding that's available as they're really trying to get our economy back up and running again. So there's opportunities that can come from that are available. So definitely talk with whatever educational system has what you're looking for. So whatever college it is, whatever training center it is, to see what can work as far as making it work financially, and seeing about either anything through unemployment or through your employer to help make it work. And then just take it take it step by step. Like, it can be overwhelming when you look at all of it, but just break it down. So like, okay, I'm taking this step today. I'm going forward from there. I mean, honestly, when I was first looking into it, I was looking to possibly start in April, but I was like, oh, I've got to get this prepared and this prepared. Like, I had to do a little video interview. And at that point I was like, you know what? There's a May start and I'll get it all set for that. But just make sure you get it started. And then if things aren't coming together perfectly for when you think, don't let it go. Don't think, okay, it didn't work. I couldn't make it. Because Yolanda, I know that's a big piece of your story too, as far as looking to start your doctorate program, and life got in the way. And so you needed to make it work for you when life wasn't getting in the way. And that can happen. It's just don't hold off from that dream, because really it's only going to benefit you, and it's only going to benefit your family to get it started.
Right. Thank you so much for sharing that. One important thing you shared was about finances, right? Can you afford it, and how are you going to pay for it? That's important, because education is not free. But like Julie said, there's grants and there's scholarships and there's loans, and you mentioned your school helps, so maybe your employer may help with funding your education. So all of these things you definitely want to look into as you make your decision. And then, like Julie said, you can make the decision and life happens. I started school myself in October of last year. I'm in my second class right now, but almost 2 years ago, I was all registered to start school, and actually a completely different school, and my dad passed away. So that was very tough for me. Life happened. Mm-hmm. And I had to stop, and I had to say, I can't do it right now. And I know it's something that means a lot to me, but I just had to pull brakes. But I'm doing it now, and I know that my dad would be proud. One of the things that, I shared with him before he passed away, he was sick, so I knew that, he was leaving this earth. I told him that I was going to go to school and I was going to have my doctorate. So, so I have to finish.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So, but like
you really needed to process that too. Like, I remember when it was happening and just talking with you, and you wanted to like just be able to get up and get going and go forward. Like, you wanted to, but your mind still needed to process. Your mind and your emotions still needed to process that. And so that wasn't the time. But then things worked out so that this is so much better time for you to be able to really be fully in it, because you've got to be fully in it. Now, things can still happen when you're in the program too. And it could be, there are times where people like take a step back kind of thing, just make sure you're in good shape to step back so that you can easily get back in, or take it at a smaller pace if you need to. Like, you've got to make sure that you're able to focus in on what you need to focus in on, and you needed that time. So I think I'm so happy for you that things have worked out to be able to do this and to be doing your program and your new career. So you're really working it.
Well, thank you, Julie. And I am so happy for you, because as you mentioned earlier, we've had these conversations about taking those steps and moving forward, and here we are. And so one of the questions is, what is your biggest drive or motivator? I think I know the answer to that question, but I'm going to let you answer it.
My biggest drive or motivator. I'd say my son is my biggest driver motivator. He's the best thing that's ever happened to me. He's the most amazing little guy. And what I want him to see with me, I want him to see a strong woman. I want him to be able to respect women and understand they can do whatever they want to do, that they're so important, so he's my biggest motivator. I want him to have what he needs, obviously have what he needs, what he wants to a certain point. And I want him to be happy and healthy. And so that's really my biggest motivator. I have started doing early, like when I was first starting my program, I was doing a lot of like yoga and meditation, and it's turned into like doing workouts. And so he'll get in and do some workouts with me, and like we're getting stronger together type of thing. And so we're getting stronger physically together, and we're getting stronger mentally together with school too.
That is so awesome. That is just awesome. Little Owen, and he's a handsome guy.
Aw, thank you. Yeah, he's such a cutie.
Yes. And, I have an Owen too, 2 Owens.
Yes.
Yeah. So we have another question from Mr. Dell, and I will read it. He says, I have a little daughter. As a woman, what advice can you both give her about challenges on finding her path? And then there's a part 2. And how can she become great leaders like both of you? Thank you so much, Dell.
Nice. Do you want me to start, Yolanda?
Go ahead. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a great question, Dale. I guess a big thing is for her to not think that there are obstacles. Ultimately, like to know that she can do. And I think that she's going to be growing up now through a time where she's going to see more women leaders, but to know that there aren't obstacles, but there can be challenges as far as being a woman, like within leadership, there can be challenges. However, really being a woman can actually help you, because you are empathetic, you are supportive. Not to say men aren't, but we can be a little bit more of nurturers. So we can really help people grow by showing how much we care about them. So as a leader, you have to walk that fine line of like, I really care about you, but I need to be able to get the work done, type of thing. So that's a big challenge as far as being like, I care about you. I want to motivate you. Let's get things done. That can really be a tough wire to walk, but she can totally do that. And I think she's going to see more and more of that as she grows up, and she'll be a great leader because you're her dad. Like, you are helping to grow her. You are helping to inspire her. Because you are a male, it does not make it different, because she's seeing that you can do this, you can build this up, and that you're trying to make her a great leader too.
That is awesome. Absolutely awesome. And just to add, I remember, growing up, my mom was a big motivator for me. And when I would get those good grades in school, she would always go and share with family and friends. Oh, my daughter did so great. She's getting these great grades. And so it motivated me to want to give her, to do well, to want to give her more things to talk about.
Yes.
And so, but it also, what it did for me was made me feel like there was nothing in life that I could not obtain or grab or get on. There was no goal that I couldn't set for myself that I couldn't reach. I felt, that word perseverance is one of my favorite words, because I feel like, I have that ability to persevere. And so I say that to say, as long as you continue to encourage her and let her know, that she is somebody, right? And that there's nothing that she can't accomplish. That childlike faith is what I call it. That you want her to be able to keep that childlike faith, and she'll be okay. She'll be okay. She'll know that whatever roadblocks come her way, like Julie said, it's just challenges. It's not obstacles. She can just get up and and continue to move on. And I hope that helps somebody who's listening today, because that's really what the goal is. We want to be able to encourage people by listening to our stories, and we want people to know that whatever that is, whatever steps you've been thinking about walking, but life keeps happening. You got this. You can do it. You can do it. Let's see. Is there another question? Okay, there is. And I think after this, we'll probably have time for one more. And the question is, how do you overcome your obstacles, like struggling with classes or from struggle to achieving a skill in college?
Good question. I've got to focus in. I've got to focus in time and energy to the problem. So if I have like a class that is really challenging for me, I've got to make sure that I set time aside into it where I'm like fully able to take it on. And then again, like I was talking about with the steps with going forward, like break it down for yourself. Make this huge thing that's in your mind, because a lot of times big deals are in our mind, and break it down. Like, so I had an assignment the other day. I'm just starting back with a class, and I it was early December that I finished my last class. So I was just starting back up. So I was like, kind of like, needed to oil the machine of my brain. And so like even just getting the cover page done, I was like, all right, I got the cover page done, because there's all these different, like there's a running header you need, and there's the all of the different numbers that you need on each of the pages and everything like that. So I was like, okay, I got that done. That's great. So like break it down for yourself. And if it's a topic that you really are uncertain of, like ask your classmates and ask your professor for help, or whatever it is. Like ask the professional for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help, because that's what people are there for. They're really there to be able to help you out. And I'm finding more and more that I'm getting a lot more help from my classmates now, the farther I get into the program. And I found that in my undergrad as well. My master's, it was a lot of group work, but with my undergrad, I was learning from people that had done things before me. So Dale, like that has been talking with us, he's done things before me in this program, or my classmates that might like understand something a little bit better. Make sure to ask those questions so that you don't just get stuck, because you could just get stuck and be like, I don't know how to do this, I'm not doing it. But you're going to learn so much by asking the questions.
And do you use your school's library?
Yes. Yep, definitely. So we've got, our virtual library that we utilize. And so I do use that. And then we do have free tutoring services that are available too. I haven't gotten that far. I might, when I did my undergrad and I did my master's, I got a tutor when it came to statistics. And I'm going to take a statistics class in this program too. It's like statistical methods. And I find with statistics, I need a little extra help. Like I need somebody that kind of can talk to me the way I learn, So I got a tutor in both of those classes. And most places have free tutoring services that could help you figure out how you learn and kind of break it down for you.
Awesome. That's important because, I know, and working in higher ed, so many people don't take advantage of those services, right? Mm-hmm. From the library, the resources in the library, and tutoring, and even having someone, look at your papers before you submit them, right? That's so important. You can turn a B+ paper into an A+ paper. So, you're paying for those services. So why not take advantage of those services? It's so important. And even, there's so many students, for some reason, a lot of times they don't know that those services exist. And so they do, and definitely, take advantage of them. So any more questions, viewers? I love your message about your son.
Aww.
Nice. This was so great. Nice. We're so happy that you are enjoying the conversation. And again, we hope that you have been inspired. And I know Julie has given us so many tips and so many jewels tonight. But before we wrap up, Julie.
That's okay. You can call me Jules.
Can you give the audience maybe three things to take away, 3 takeaways before we end?
Yes, definitely. So I would say the biggest takeaway is to make sure that you are looking out for you and looking out for you in your growth. Now, that growth could be what you want it to be. So it's not necessarily like we're talking a lot about education. It might be you're looking to grow in a different way, like that you're looking to really be able to grow more spiritually, or you're looking to grow more mentally. Like there's a lot of different things you could be looking to grow within. So just making sure to prioritize that for yourself. I have seen people talk about how they can't do things for themselves because they've got to do it for their kids. But you're not, it's the whole, you can't like pour from an empty cup type thing. You're not able to do everything for your kids if you're not doing something for you too. So find that thing that is something for you, and you will actually have more to give to your family. So that's my first thing. My second, feel free to reach out to people for help, because naturally we do want to help people. We want to be able to see our friends and family happy and successful. So definitely reach out to people that could possibly help you with any questions that you have. And the third piece, I would say, just make sure that you are showing your best self to your family. So you are showing them that this is a great way to be. So like what I want to show, I'm not perfect by any means, but what I want to show to my son is that you've got to make sure to take the time to take care of yourself. If your body needs sleep, you need to sleep. You need to exercise. You need to eat. Lately, he's been like, I don't want to eat. Like, well, you need to eat because you need to have energy to grow. So make sure that you're modeling the behaviors that you want your children or other people in your family to have. It's something that I could be able to look out for more myself, honestly, but I try to make sure that I'm showing him that, you know, let's try to eat healthy. Let's exercise. Let's make sure we get our work done, but take time to relax as well. Make sure that you're enjoying your time with your family. You're enjoying any alone time that you have, and just really take care.
I love it. I love it. Those were awesome, awesome jewels from Julie Slate. I absolutely love it. It's very important to take care of you, right? While you are progressing and working towards your educational goals. Get some sleep. I know about staying up to 3 o'clock in the morning and studying and working on that paper. And sometimes last minute stuff that can happen. But as Julie mentioned, you know, prioritize you and, you know, connect with folks. Julie's email address is located at the bottom of the screen. If you want to get in contact with her and maybe ask some more questions or connect in whatever way. If you're looking to go to school and, you know, start towards your associate's degree, Julie works at Monroe Community College, as she mentioned, and she can help you with that, with those next steps. And so, yes, I am not the only one, someone says. Right, no, you're not the only one. And so we just thank you so much, Julie, for being a guest on Adult Learner Speaks this evening. And we thank you to our guests for listening in and for your wonderful questions and your beautiful comments. And again, if you are on the fence and not sure about going to school, you've been thinking about it, you're not sure if college is for you, college is for you. College is for anybody who wants to attend. I do not like when people say it's not for me, I'm not college material. If you want it, then it's for you.
Exactly.
It's for you. And so we definitely want you again to join our adult learner group. You can find it on, Facebook, Adult Learner Rising Eagles. And so you have to do is type that in and, join the page. You'll be asked a few questions, about 3 questions, nothing hard, but we want to be able to support you on your journey. We want to be able to share your accolades and, and your accomplishments. We want to be able to do that. And we just want to be able to support each other. So, I don't have it all, right? I know my friend Julie would say, she don't have it all, but together, we do. And so, thank you so much, guys. And until we meet again, in probably a couple of weeks, you guys be great, stay safe, and have a good evening.
Thank you.